Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your morning report for Monday, 24 November 2025. This is Robert, and Michael join us later in the show. Let's get started on the domestic income. So, big news over the weekend. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene from Georgia announced that she's going to retire from the House on effective 5th of January 2026. And this is going to leave the House GOP with a 2-vote margin. I think there's a good chance this disrupts the Trump administration's legislative agenda due to that 2-vote margin. One of those is Representative Thomas Massie, who has broke with the Trump administration on some key agenda items. And I think this has the chance to disrupt their legislative agenda, because this will leave only one vote that the House GOP can lose to pass any bills ahead of the 2026 midterms. Moving over to the domestic side, UPS and FedEx are attempting to obtain replacement planes after the FAA indefinitely grounded the two shipping companies' McDonnell Douglas MD-11 aircraft after that crash 2 weeks ago. The MD-11 is about 10% of UPS's and about 5% of FedEx's shipping fleets. Neither UPS or FedEx have said how this is going to impact shipping, but I think it's likely this will have an impact heading into the holiday shipping season, because they're unlikely to get any replacements for these planes, which were, for both companies, expected to fly until the mid-2030s. And then finally, 5 individuals tied to the Elm Forks John Brown Gun Club, members who conducted that 4th of July attack on the ICE facility in Alvarado, Texas, pleaded guilty to material support of terrorists. More of the defendants in the case, which I think is up to a total of 17 now, are scheduled for plea hearings this week. Jared, if you could come on and take us through the global sit rep, please.
Absolutely. So the Federal Aviation Administration issued another notice to airmen warning for all aircraft operators near Venezuela. This is to exercise caution due to what they said was worsening security situations and heightened military activity around Venezuela. And this will last until about mid-February as well. The FAA actually previously issued a warning similar to this near Puerto Rico for increased state air operations. And then over the weekend, 4 anonymous officials spoke to Reuters and said that the U.S. operation in the Caribbean was moving to a new phase. They also discussed some of the options, and 2 of the 4 officials claimed that the administration is considering overthrowing Maduro amongst the other options. Over in Colombia, on Friday, Colombian President Petro said he would support a transitional government in Venezuela, similar to Colombia's previous Front National, in order to de-escalate tensions and provide legitimacy to the new government. His main concern there is that basically you would have armed groups saying no to any other kind. Petro said that he also previously offered this to the Biden administration.
Well, this seems like a significant change. Hasn't Petro been fervently anti basically U.S. intervention in Venezuela?
Yes. Well, this still matches that position. It's not a matter of he's worried about armed intervention primarily. So this would be a transition peacefully that he is supporting. Over in the South China Sea, last week, the United States Navy immediately replaced the Nimitz Carrier Strike Group with the Washington Carrier Strike Group in the South China Sea. And that's unusual. The United States Naval Institute claims that this is due to high tensions and Chinese military activity around contested islands in there. Normally, the U.S. Navy just maintains a carrier in the region, not one specifically in a sea. So I think this points toward the Navy being concerned about higher than normal risk of escalating violence specifically around Scarborough Shoal. And then lastly, we've touched on the Japan-China spat for the past couple of weeks now. A Japanese expert and a Taiwanese expert both said that they expect this to not be over anytime soon. The Japanese one says she expects it to last over a year, and the Taiwanese National Security Bureau expects the Japanese to actually increase their military presence in the disputed Senkaku Islands over this and push for more United States involvement, specifically because Japan, does not want to yield to a hegemony.
All right, thank you for that, Jared. If you can take us to our next slide, please. We're tracking 55 protests today. And as Mike has pointed out multiple times, it's a good idea if you're near one of these protests to go out for your own area study and see which groups are joining these protests, your local political groups and activist groups. Jared, if you could move to the next slide, please. Mike is going to come on and take us through the Black Friday sale.
Yeah, hey, good morning, y'all. Hope you can hear me all right. Yeah, so we launched our Black Friday sale as we usually do. This year it started last Friday, and it's going all this week until the first. Head over to blackfriday.forwardobserver.com. If you've been wanting to join, if you watch us on the show every day and on the free side on YouTube or X, and you want to get a peek behind the paywall, that was a really great opportunity to do that because we're giving away a lot of stuff for new members and existing members who also renew. So head over to blackfriday.forwardobserver.com. And with that, let's go ahead and move on. Over on the high side, the rest of our members only briefing. First of all, Steve, thank you so much for the super chat. We greatly appreciate it, and glad to be doing this every day and keeping everyone informed as well. Coming up for early warning members only, I'll be going through the economic early warning briefing. That's a report that I publish for members every Friday, and we will begin briefing that on Mondays for everyone. That is an overview of what investment banks and hedge funds are saying about the economy, about financial instability, monetary risk. Those are the three big things that we track through this report. And you get a firsthand view of what Goldman Sachs financial analysts and Bank of America and some hedge funds are saying about their outlook for the U.S. economy as well. And we do that because that's a side of reporting that very few people see, because we're taking this commentary directly from their memos to clients and their private notes and their bank research reports. And that's what we throw in the economic early warning. They talk about things that frankly do not get talked about very well, even in some of the alt financial blogs, and definitely not on CNBC and Bloomberg and other financial outlets. So with that, we'll also talk about Homeland Ops briefing. And with that, that's going to do it for today's daily SITREP. We appreciate your support. Early warning, folks, please stand by. And Jared, please take us out.